I don't know anything about this blog.
Good morning, everybody. It is a happy Monday morning, and I'm really excited about today's episode of the BAM Blog Breakdown, where Brian Kaiser, myself, and sometimes Aaron Zambrano break down expert business blogs so that you can better understand and apply the information to your business and life for real results. Before we get started, I'm excited about this. Get those results. Right? Get over to our YouTube channel, hit subscribe, like us, love us, give us the love right back, give us a subscribe on YouTube. Exactly. Brian, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. And guys, Mike, I'm struggling. I don't know if I can deliver this.
You don't know if you can do this one? Well, let me tell the
I'm going to have a hard time, but this is going to be a tough one for me.
Let me tell the folks why you're saying that, right? So a few weeks back, I said to Brian, I go, man, we break down expert business blogs, right? He said, well, yeah. And I said, well, you're an expert, right? And he said, yeah. And I said, well, I'm an expert, right? And he said, yeah. And I said, why aren't we doing our own blogs once in a while?
And the journey began,
right? So this month, we're rotating one of Brian's blogs into the mix, and I'm pretty excited. I found this one. He wrote it. I found it, searching his website, looking for content, and I said, man, this one was really, really cool. So that being said, I'm going to give the people what my basic summary of your blog is.
Cool.
And it's actually, because it was so well written, my summary is like super short. And we're going to dive into three keys relatively quick. Well, here's the thing. Brian, this is a great read. I got to tell you, right? I love the way you use the lessons in the movie and you relate those to personal and business development, because we know that those lessons are often in movies, but they're often overshadowed by Hollywood drama and action and everything else. So you were able to really dig deep into the movie and pull out some real cool lessons. And as I read this blog and went through it,
and the movie, just so you guys are knowing, is the
American Sniper. Yeah.
3 lessons we can learn
from
American Sniper.
Man, see, I'm so excited about doing Brian's blog. I forgot to give you the title, right? So thank you for doing that, right? And you give 3 very clear lessons. And instead of me getting into those as if I were reviewing if I were doing a summary, I thought that those were actually the 3 key points that we needed to talk about today. So let's do it.
Let's do it. Like I said, I'm going to struggle with this one. So you guys help me out. Send some comments.
You know, my son played basketball competitive for a long time, right? And then in 9th grade, he got cut and played one more season of AAU club ball and no longer plays.
Well, that's sad.
I'm happy. Because what he found out was he liked managing teams and being part of what's going on with the coaches and the leaders and things like that.
He found his unique genius inside that.
Yeah, inside that experience, right?
Good.
But here's what I figured out about Caleb. He is happiest when he is serving a purpose that is greater than self.
That is very important to find.
That's our first key point.
That is the first key point, and that of the 3, and that's an awesome point, because that's something a lot of people struggle with, is being able to let themselves be vulnerable and serve a purpose better or greater than themselves.
Yeah. So when you watched the movie, and it was all centered around this one guy, what was his purpose that was greater than self, that made this stand out to you?
He was serving his country. He was there for his guys. He was part of a team. He was part of an elite team. Chris Kyle was a Navy SEAL. You don't get to be a Navy SEAL. You don't just walk out and say, I'm going to be a Navy SEAL. Those guys go through grueling training, weeks on end, to pass the course and be able to do this. And they, not just in physical ability, but in the education that they get, the marksmanship that they have, the proficiency with different weapons and things, the strategy, all these things go into SEAL training. And of course, in the movie, they depict the hardest, what's probably the hardest, and where most of the people wash out is on the physical part, because it's physically, it tears you down. But that purpose of serving that team and making sure you're always there, giving 100% to the team. 100% to the team.
So, before I get into the second key point, I have a coaching question around this one.
Oh,
okay.
Excellent.
And because he's not only serving a purpose greater than self, but he's fighting for freedom. And that comes with a price.
High price.
Whatever your purpose is, and it doesn't need to be military. We're not suggesting that. It doesn't need to be life-threatening or anything like that. But are you willing to pay the price that it's going to take for you to fulfill your purpose that is greater than yourself?
That's the question you have to ask yourself.
Yeah. Are you willing to pay the price? Second key point, and this is my favorite of the three, right?
And this is probably the one that's the most misunderstood.
I think it is, because everybody teaches us dream big. Aim big, set big goals. Brian found this very key, well-defined key point in this blog, and it's aim small, miss small, right? And it's all about focus. And so why don't you touch on that, and what kind of inspired you to pull this one out of there?
Well, most of you guys have figured out I love marketing and promoting.
Yep.
I absolutely love marketing and promoting, finding new ways to connect people and get people connected. So I love that. I study it. I live it. It's just something that's passionate to me. But the thing that works in marketing is exactly what works in sharpshooting. Okay? If you know your target market and you know your target audience and you know them right down to where they live, where they eat, all that stuff, then you can aim like a bullseye and shoot at that. If you miss, you're only going to miss by yay much, and you're still going to get reward. Right. Okay.
So the adjustment to actually hit the mark is minimal.
And the point in the movie was, if you watch the movie, and I encourage you to watch it, and watch it from the aspects of which, if you may be against military and all that stuff, but watch it from the perspective of the points here in the blog. If you're aiming at the bullseye and you got it, beat it in, and you miss by a little bit, you still are going to be close enough to hit your mark. Okay. If you just aim randomly in the open there, you're not going to hit anything. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people in their business and in their life just throw it out there like a fishing net and hope something's going to be drug in.
Yeah. Throw mud against the wall and hope something sticks.
Right. So my whole point there was, hey, aim at something, and aim like a laser beam, not like a light bulb, but like a laser beam, so that you maybe you don't hit it, maybe you fall a little short, but you know what? You're not going to fall that short. Mm-hmm. You're going to be close enough to your goal so that you can keep going and you can repeat that action and get better and improve.
Excellent. The third key that you wrote in here was defining your life worth fighting for. And so my key point for this is, will you fight for your dream? Will you fight to fulfill your vision? Or will you get knocked down one time and just cower and throw in the towel? You've got to be willing to fight is the key. If you're going to leave a legacy, you've got to be willing to fight. I recently read the Charles Goodyear story. I never knew. Like, first of all, he has nothing to do with the Goodyear company. They named it after him, right, and all that, but he did not own it. He was broke. This guy didn't have a business, right? But he was passionately focused on making this happen. He was self-educated. Mm-hmm. Okay, he was not a scientist in the term as we would think in the true terms. He was a self-motivated and self-educated scientist, right. And he gave up everything so that you have tires today. Yeah, really. And I challenge you to get over and read that story. Brian, when you think about being willing to fight for your dream, and this story in the American Sniper, there has to be a heart pull there for you, right? Because you've had your own dreams in life. So it's something connected there. Because I've watched the movie. It doesn't stand out to me. It didn't stand out. And then when I read your blog, I'm like, holy smoke, right? Yeah. So what did it touch for you? What was the touch point for you that made that stand out?
Well, if you watch the movie, it starts off and Chris Kyle is kind of wondering. He's wondering. I mean, he's in the rodeo. He's in bad relationships. Drink a beer with the buddies all the time. No direction. Okay, and tragically, some things happen, and he ends up seeing, watching a news thing and going into the Navy, and then getting into the Navy SEALs, and he finds his purpose. His purpose was found through the military. Basically, it helped him focus in on, hey, you serve a purpose to lead a team. He found that he was really great at being a marksman. He found he was really great at being a leader. He found out he was really great at all these things. And that was where this comes from. Are you willing to fight for your dream? At that point, you watched in the turn of the movie when he's graduating from the SEALs training, and he finds Kaya, and he meets her and all. Okay, that's the shift in the movie where he goes from lost to I have a purpose. And if you watch it, you follow the plot of the movie, that's his purpose. And it just grows and it grows and it grows to where he's there to serve his team.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one particular enemy that's out there,
mm-hmm.
and we all have them. Now, we use the movie because it was pretty good to bring that out. We all have our particular enemies that we're after. We're chasing an enemy every day. Every one of us has that one thing that we need to make sure that we nail and it's out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he had this one enemy, okay, and that's the turn. Are you willing to fight? He was willing to fight and give up everything to make sure that he protected his men, make sure that he protected the country, make sure that he protected and helped the soldiers that were coming back. In the end, he served a purpose that was way, way greater than himself.
Awesome. So we're a little bit over, so let me wrap this up. The 3 keys, again: serve a purpose greater than yourself, aim small, and be willing to fight.
Mm-hmm.
My coaching question to you, it's a kind of a question series here, because before you ask a couple of these questions, there's one key question you got to ask. So before you ask, what do you want to do? Before you ask, what do I want to have or accomplish? Ask yourself, who do I want to be? And how do I want to impact the world, the community, and the people in it?
Great question.
Guys, this has been another Bam Slam. I want to say Grand Slam instead of Bam Slam. I don't know why. I watched the Red Sox last night. I don't know if that has something to do with it.
He doesn't like sports.
This has been another Bam Slam home run breakdown where Brian Kaiser, myself, sometimes Aaron Zambrano break down expert blogs so you can better understand and apply the information to your life for real results. Join us every Monday and Thursday at 11:30 a.m. CST, Central Standard Time, for new episodes.
Right.
Get over, like our YouTube channel. Get over, check out Evernote and Slack and Wunderlist. We love them. We use them. We thank them for keeping us organized and collaborative. Thank you to our awesome contributors. Brian, thank you. If you need an introduction to Brian, contact me.
He's my agent.
Or him. Right? I want my 10%. No, I'm kidding. Anyhow, right? Show me the money, right?
Right. There you go. There we go.
But no, seriously, if you want to learn more about what Brian's doing, how he can help you, just reach out. Look, listeners, we get it. Building a business is not easy. It can be tough. If you want to gain a real advantage, if you want to 10x your results from the efforts that you're putting in, you've got to do what other high performers are doing. And that is, you've got to work on your mindset and your skill set simultaneously so that you can physically grow into the leader that your business needs to succeed and to thrive. If you're up to the challenge, which as an entrepreneur, I know you are, check out the 90-Day Mental Fitness Challenge. They are our sponsor. We've done this program. It was developed by 7 of the top-ranked and recognized leadership gurus in the world, and it's designed for real change. The link is in the description box below. Finally, if you need help with your business, with your life, any aspect of your business or life, if we can't help you and we know somebody that can, simply reach out and ask, and we will either help you or direct you in the right direction. We are here to serve, and that is why we leave this BAM episode asking, how can we better serve you? We'll see you next time. Brian,
hey,
we're out.